All right, good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and call to order this regular city council meeting, Wednesday, December 17th. Can you please stand for a moment of silence, and then we'll be led by Council Member Nunn for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, thank you. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor McPartlin is excused from tonight's meeting. Councilmember Nunn?
Here.
Councilmember Matthews?
Present.
Councilmember Dodd?
Here.
And Mayor Jones?
Here. All right, do we have any agenda modifications? Mr. Manager, any council members?
Nope.
Seeing none, okay, we're going to move on to proclamations and awards. There are none. Mr. Nunn, would you mind reading the brief announcements for us?
Yes, sir. Friday, December 19th, Sebastian Police Department's Movie Night Out, A Christmas Carol, 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, December 20th, Santa's Open House, sponsored by the Sebastian Women's Club in Riverview Park. That'll be from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. City Hall will be closed for the holiday, December 24th, 25th, and 26th. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. Now we're at the part of our meeting for public input, and this input is for anything that's not on the current agenda. Is there anyone present who would like to speak? Seeing none, do we have anyone on Zoom?
No one has raised their hand at this time.
All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Council, what's your pleasure on the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of the consent agenda item A and B.
Second.
Do we have a motion and a second? Any further discussion?
No, sir.
Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Nunn?
Yes.
Councilmember Matthews?
Yes.
Councilmember Dodd?
Yes.
Mayor Jones?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Moving on to item 9, committee reports. Does anyone have any committee reports?
No, sir.
All right. We're going to go ahead. Our next item is 9A, Charter Review Committee appointments. What do we have? Mr. Benton?
I guess I can
Oh,
take that.
there you go.
As you know, pursuant to our charter, the charter needs to be reviewed periodically. We are due for a charter review. At the last meeting, council members, you all gave us your appointments. The charter also calls for up to 5 at-large seats. Kathy, were there still 3? Still 3? Okay, so there have been 3 that have applied. You don't have to appoint all 5, so you can do a lesser number. And it, might even be a more manageable group at that point, but it's totally up to you how you want to handle it. But we do need to get them approved. Also in this package was some proposed schedule. We're going to have an organizational meeting. We're supposed to have it within a week, but with Christmas upon us, we're going to do it right after on January 5th. I'll have an organizational meeting where I'll go over the sunshine stuff and everything else and give them each a full and complete copy of the charter and have them start going through it to identify what they think might be some good proposals. And then you also have a proposed calendar because we do have to do this in short order if we're going to aim for the November election. That calendar pretty much anticipates Monday night meetings. But as Kathy and I talked about, there are conflicting dates. Sometimes Parks and Rec meets on Mondays sometimes, and other things, including the budget advisory meets on Mondays. So we're going to have some flexibility on the schedule. But since it's short order, we are going to have to keep the Charter Review Committee moving forward quickly. Because we don't have a lot of time to come up. Because after they do their thing, then it's got to come to you. You have to do your part, and we got to get the ordinance passes, all in time to get it to the supervisor of elections in order to get the ballot questions in place and everything. So So basically what we need from you, we don't need approval on the schedule or anything. We do need appointment of the members, though.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 members that have applied at this point, which would be Felicia Holloman, Wanda Simmons, and Nicholas Schakowsky.
I'll second that motion.
All right, great. We have a motion and a second to approve the 3 at-large members that have posted. Any comments from council? Anybody on the public wish to speak on that?
So what do we want to do with the other 2 positions? Do we want to leave it open
Well, I think
for
we're running.
now, or?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with leaving it open, but I think once the meetings start, it's going to be difficult, so.
Agreed. They'd have to be pretty quick after this.
Right.
Agreed. Okay.
That is true. You know, you guys don't meet again until the organizational meeting has already taken place. The only thing that we had discussed is the possibility, if you want to give the city manager authority to put an employee representative and maybe a police department representative, so that you can kind of get employee input on charter issues too. But that's, you know, it's something that I've seen done in some other places, but it's totally optional. We could work with the committee we have. So,
Mr. Mayor, I think that's a good idea. I'd like to make that motion that the city manager appoint an employee representative and a police department representative to the Charter Review Committee.
I'll second that.
So we got 2
No,
motions.
we have,
Well, we have 2 motions.
we got to get this other motion. Do we need to rescind this motion? Yeah.
So if you want,
All right, so-
I'll take I'm going to rescind my motion.
All right.
And I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve the 3 that have applied and that we give the city manager the approval to appoint a police officer member and a city employee. Do we require those 2 people to be City of Sebastian residents?
yes,
They would have to
according to the
be.
charter,
Okay.
all the members have to be residents.
All right, so then that would be the only requirement on that, is they be residents of Sebastian then. All right? So that's my motion.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second on that. All right. Any other discussion on that item?
No.
Anybody from the public would like to speak on that? Anyone on Zoom?
No one has raised their hand at this time.
Hearing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Matthews.
Yes.
Councilmember Dodd.
Yes.
Mayor Jones.
Yes.
And Councilmember Nunn.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, moving on to item 9B, Citizens Budget Review Advisory Board appointments. 39.
So with the citizen budget review, re-elected council members, Nunn, Mayor Jones, and Vice Mayor McPartlin can confirm their appointees, and Councilmember Matthews can announce her appointee, and then council as a whole may choose to reinstate Scott Baker for another term.
I confirm mine.
I confirm mine.
And I have an appointee, Bill Flynn.
Bill Flynn?
You got it.
Yes. Yes.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to reappoint or reinstate Scott Baker for another term.
Second. All right, so we have a motion and a second on reappointing Scott Baker. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none.
Need to ask public for that.
Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak on that? Anyone on Zoom?
No one has raised their hand at this time.
All right, public input's closed. Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Dodd.
Yes.
Mayor Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Nunn.
Yes.
Councilmember Matthews.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you so much. Item 10, we have no public hearings. Item number 11, no unfinished business. And item 12, under new business, we're going to consideration of selecting Spirit of Sebastian LLC as the awarded company for the surplus land.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Before you is the staff agenda item, the staff item to award a contract to Spirit of Sebastian LLC. Per council's direction, we issued a bid for the sale of the property at Bailey Drive, and the appraised value was $165,000. We received the bid for $166,000. So we are requesting council's approval to move forward with negotiations with Spirit of Sebastian, and to also, once we execute the agreement, there will be 45 days to closing. And if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval.
All right, we have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak on this item? Anyone on Zoom?
No, at this time.
Public input's closed. Madam Clerk?
Mayor Jones,
Yes.
Councilmember Nunn,
Yes.
Councilmember Matthews,
Yes.
Councilmember Dodd.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you so much. And we're going to move on to item 12B, consideration of selecting Wiregrass Ecological Associates for the tree inventory. Ms. Graham.
Good evening, council, again. So the Parks and Recreation Department was awarded a grant to perform tree canopy surveys. So we issued out a bid for a tree inventory and assessment. Initially, based on funding, we assumed we'd only have enough funding to cover the parks. Once the bids came in, we are able to cover the parks, and we do have additional funding left. Our plan is to try and work with the vendor to also bring in the medians and other locations that were not included, to try to also have tree inventories performed at those locations. But we will make sure that the pricing is favorable to the city. So we will be evaluating what they're currently charging us for similar locations and what they'd be charging us for those locations. So we're just looking for council's approval to enter into this contract. And if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right, thank you so much. As I was going through the packet and the information, I'm looking at some of the bids that came in, and the concern that I had initially when I saw these were we had one bid that was way low and the other ones were high. How do we know that they're going to be able to complete the job based on what they bid on this if we were to choose them?
So I did reach out to the contractor regarding that, and I also reached out to the other locations that they had performed tree surveys at, which were similar to what we do for other agencies, and their pricing was always significantly lower because they are not an engineering firm. The other firms that bid, these are national engineering firms that have engineers on site that are performing this. These are individuals that are certified ecologists, and they are performing these tree surveys. So it's a smaller location that can still perform the same services, but they don't have the same overhead. And I did contact the city of Roland Park, which had a tree inventory done throughout their entire city, and it came in at about what we're paying for the city of Sebastian. And I was able to look at the end product, talk to the project manager, look at the responses from their city council, and they were extremely happy with the work that they performed.
Very good. That's the only question I have. Mr. Dodd.
Yeah, are you planning on expanding the scope of this through a change order? Or how do you, yeah, right now, the approved expenditure, if we approve this as it stands right now tonight, is $20,100.
Correct. That's why
but
we...
it's showing $62,500. Are we going to get a change order to process for the difference when you work? I mean, this was a bidded, we actually went out for a competitive bid on this. So do we not have to go out for a rebid, for bidding on this if we expand the scope by 2/3?
Not for the additional, because it was for tree inventory and condition assessment for the city of Sebastian. We listed the parks. As long as we stay within the city of Sebastian, we can do that. And that's why I said initially, we're going to talk to the contractor, but if it's not something that's conducive to our funding and we feel like we can get a better price, we can bid it out. But seeing the other bids that came in, I'm not confident we'll get something that is cheaper because the places are going to be smaller. We're looking at medians and not the large parks that we have.
Okay, I'm interested in the lack of a formal process. Well, I mean, we just say we're going to try to negotiate with them to do the rest, and we've got a $40,000 pocket of money sitting there. I would like to see a change order come back. I see no problem in your purchasing process for you to authorize a change order to this particular
No,
item.
it will be a change order.
And it comes back to council, and it has the specific items that they're going to, areas they're going to search and so forth. Okay, yeah.
That's not a problem. It will be a change order. We will get a quote from them, and we can bring that back to council. So you can, instead of it saying up to the 62,000, I'm assuming you can approve the 20 or 22 that it was for the bid, and then we can work with the contractor. If it's something that's conducive, we can bring that back to council for your approval.
Yeah, that would make me much more comfortable with the process.
I kind of agree, and I'll say why. And, not saying any company would do this, but they now know what the pocket of money is, and they know where they sit compared to the other companies. So I'm assuming that the additional items added will be of a similar nature and cost of what they've already done. So as long as we see that, a change order shouldn't be a problem. But I agree with Councilmember Dodd. We just need to have a little control, because now they have seen what pocket's available, and we don't want them digging just because the money's there. Because the money's not.
I looked them up and did some research on the cities I've done work for. They've got glowing reviews.
Yes, they do.
So it doesn't appear to be any. It doesn't appear to be any problem with them as a company and what the process that they do. I just want mechanically, I'm interested in making sure we go through this their way.
Trust but verify.
That's no problem.
Yep.
Trust but verify. Simple. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Any other discussion?
No, sir.
I'd like to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. So I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion up here? Anyone from the public who would like to speak on this? Nobody in the audience. Anyone on Zoom?
Not at this time.
Hearing none. Public input's closed. Any final questions or anything from council? Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Nunn.
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember Matthews.
Yes.
Councilmember Dodd.
Yes.
And Mayor Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to item 12C, consideration of a new lease by Hayburn Asset Management, LLC, for a hangar at the Sebastian Airport. Mr. Sabo.
Mr. Mayor, council members, this lease is for one of the newly completed 3 square hangars that we have over on the west side of the airport. This is an existing tenant that we've already approved for leases up on that northwest side where they're going to be building some larger hangars, but in the meantime, their footprint has gotten to the point that they would like some protection for their aircraft. They currently occupy 2 of our shade hangars, 1 of the T hangars, and some apron space, and this will allow them, at least temporarily, for 1 year, possibly extended to 2 years if they so choose, to protect those aircraft until they get their own facilities up out of the ground.
All right, council, do you have any questions for Mr. Sabo? Is there anyone from the audience who would like to speak on this item? Hearing none. Is there anyone on Zoom?
No one has raised their hand.
All right, public input's closed. Council, do you have any finals or a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the lease.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Nunn.
Yes.
Councilmember Matthews.
Yes.
Councilmember Dodd.
Yes.
And Mayor Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to move on to item 13, City Attorney Matters. Mr. Stokes.
Oh, we have one.
Oh, what did I cross it out?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry.
2548.
I crossed it out too early, forgive me. Consideration, oh, there we go, 12D, consideration of resolution R-25-48 to accept an FDOT public transportation grant. Mr. Sabo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This grant is a progression in this project to expand our current terminal apron at the airport. It only has parking for 6 spaces for transient or local aircraft. The plan has been working through the process through one of our retained engineering firms to expand this area all the way up to 12 parking spaces. That design process is at the 90% portion and is just about complete. So our next phase, of course, would be construction. This grant is just for the FDOT portion, which is the 2.5%. There will be no bidding or movement on this project until the FAA grant comes in, and I would anticipate that, based on their calendar, to be sometime in June or July. But this just secures the FDOT portion, and we would match that same amount at 2.5% when the FAA portion comes in.
All right, okay. And can you share with the public where this location of where this is? So, I mean, we know where it is and we see it, but can you share where this is and what we're talking about?
Yes, sir. This is, as you come in on Airport Drive East off of Main Street, the terminal building that we have is our public facility for receiving aircraft, both transient and locals. It's also the ramp that carries our local fuel pump and fueling facilities. It's restricted in its size because of the amount of spaces that we have, and as we continue to grow and the flight school continues to get larger, this will ensure that we have enough extra spaces for our transient traffic. It does get busy out there at times, and we can fill up. And without these spaces, depending on inclement weather, we're not able to secure and tie down aircraft properly. They just have to be parked loosely and chocked. This will give us 12 fully sustainable and controllable spaces that not only will they pay for based on time that they spend at the airport, but it also helps us to secure them in case of any kind of inclement weather.
All right, thank you so much for that, sir. Council, do you have any questions for Mr.
This is,
Sabah?
I'm sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. This is for design only, if I understand it right.
The design phase is finishing up. This is actually for construction.
Actually construction, okay.
But just the FDOT portion of that.
I must have read that incorrectly then, because I thought it was a design cost. Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Good.
You know, I do want to just, because people are watching and they hear us spending $1.1 million, I want them to understand that the city of Sebastian's portion of this is only $27,000, that the FAA is giving us over $1 million. The FDOT is giving us another $27,000. So for this project that will be a huge benefit to our airport, it's costing us 2.5% of this total project, and the rest is coming from federal funds. So that's good job on the grants. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's also important to point out that that $27,000 is coming from the airport's operational money.
Correct.
The city itself is not contributing money to that. Airport as an enterprise zone is actually, their funds are going into that, and they're paying their cost on this.
That's correct, sir.
Yes.
Self-sustaining, and good job.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything else from council? All right, did we make the motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution R-25-48.
I second.
And we got a second?
All
All right. Is there any,
I'll second it.
Mr. Matthews second it.
Okay.
Do we have anyone from the public who would like to speak on this? Seeing none in the audience, how about on Zoom?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you so much. Public input's closed. Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Matthews.
Yes.
Councilmember Dodd.
Yes.
Mayor Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Nunn.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so now the next item, Mr. Stokes.
I have nothing, sir.
All right, thank you so much for that, sir. Mr. Benton.
Thank you, sir. I've got a couple things. So the first item is we, over the past couple weeks, some preservation work has been done over near Schumann Drive, near Schumann Park, in the Kildare area, also across the street in the Crawford Mabry neighborhood as well. So preservation work, they've been doing Cape Seal in that area. That work was tentatively completed this week. However, there's been some issues that have arisen from the work. A lot of it has to do, or some of it has to do with residents driving on a little too early and rutting and things like that. And then also there's some contractor, things that have popped up as the inspections have taken place. So what's happening is they're over there now, they're cleaning the area up. There was a lot of gravel left over, they're cleaning it up. They had never demobilized. This was all called as part of our staff's evaluation and inspection of the project. They're cleaning the area up. They will be doing some pressure washing on some driveways because people had driven up in some driveways across the Cape Seal, which left a mess. And some additional repair work will be started this week going forward into Monday. They will then come back after the holidays to complete the remainder of the repair work. So I just wanted you all and our residents to be aware in case you heard of any concerns. We actually, in my office, Kathy had received a phone call complimenting the city from Kildare on finally paving, doing road work in that area. But we know there are some concerns. We've heard a few, and we've seen it ourselves on some site visits out there, and those issues will be addressed through our contractor, and it's their responsibility to handle it. So they will be handling those if you all hear any complaints on that. Update on city attorney interviews. So following our last meeting, January 7th is when we will handle our interviews. You all will have individual interviews. Some of you will start at, there's only 2 candidates, so not everybody's going to have to be here at 9 a.m. So we're working on putting a schedule together. But individual interviews will start at 9 a.m. and go until about 12:30 p.m. Once again, you're only going to have 2 of those time slots in that time period. Then we will have lunch for finalists and council members from 12:30 to 1:30. Starting at 1:30 will be the public interview session. Right now, we have those scheduled for 45 minutes apiece. So we will complete that portion at 3 p.m. and then we will reconvene at 5:01 for a special meeting. Anyone have concerns? So really the big things is your individual interviews, we've allocated 30 minutes for your individual interviews, and then we've allocated 45 minutes for the joint interviews in the afternoon. Anyone have concerns about those times? Okay, and what Kathy will be getting with you all about the your individual interview times to make sure you all are aware of those as well. Since it was kind of approved at the end of the last meeting, I just wanted to come back and thank you all, thank the entire council for your support, from our staff for giving them December 26th as an extra day off. Heard a lot of positive interactions from staff in regards to giving that day, and they greatly appreciate the action of the council and the support from council with allowing them to have that additional day to spend with their families, those of them that have it off, and then the other ones that do have to work that additional day at some other point in time. So thank you all for allowing that to happen. And my final thing is just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you so much for that, sir. Madam Clerk?
I would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year also. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Vice Mayor McPartland is not here, so we'll go to Councilmember Nunn.
I just want to say thank you. Merry Christmas to everybody up here and everybody out there. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for that, sir. Mr. Dodd?
I'd kind of like to see if we can move the camera over there and show that group right there.
Yeah, show it right
to
now.
the citizens, if there was some way to do that. But we have an extremely festive Christmas group in our senior staff people that always show up at these meetings. I don't think Brian.
There it is. There they are. There they are. Great job.
This is applauding them.
Great job, team.
Their Christmas spirit. Okay, and everybody have a great holiday. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dodd. Ms. Matthews.
Well, I have one more time, the Shark Nation. I'm going to keep going with these. I love to watch kids and their athletics. The boys wrestling defended their title at Kenny Pfeiffer Invitational, and the ladies also came away with a lot of gold medals. So that's pretty exciting for those young ladies and gentlemen. And also I'm keeping an eye on that ladies basketball team. They're doing pretty well. And I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a healthy and happy start to 2026.
All right, thank you so much. Just for everyone to know, Mr. Benton and I met with Representative Brackett here at City Hall today. We spent about an hour and a half discussing our legislative priorities with Mr. Brackett. You guys up here know what they are. And we had a very good, productive conversation with, we learned a lot of things. Mr. Benton could probably share a little bit more, but it was a great meeting that we had with Representative Brackett today, and we're pleased with what we heard, so.
Yeah, I'll just share, you know, we went through a range of topics in regards to many bills that have been filed, some that could potentially be filed. The range, just to give the public knowledge on kind of what we discussed House Bill 105, which has been filed by Representative Brackett. He then went through his list of bills that he has filed, and we had good discussion on all of those. We discussed the property tax referendum items that are all the House Joint Resolutions that are, have been proposed and are going through committees right now up in Tallahassee. So we discussed those as well. Senate Bill 180 and kind of the revised measure with Senate Bill 160 was discussed. Sovereign immunity was discussed today.
1379.
And in House Bill 1379 in regards to septic to sewer. We had a pretty good conversation about that and kind of expressing our desire for the state, to assist and offer some assistance in getting sewer connections to our residents. I think, we identified that as one of our major priorities, and any way that we can, facilitate and utilize the state's assistance and not only paying for it, but also getting the process started and getting it done. That was one thing that we had a healthy discussion with Representative Brackett on. And a few other bills. I just don't quite remember all of them off the top of my head, but it was a very productive discussion. I appreciate him taking the time to meet with us today and give us, like the mayor said, over an hour of his time today to discuss those matters and how they will affect the city. And hopefully we'll see, some amendments or tweaks to some things that could potentially negatively affect us. But we look forward to working with them through the legislative process.
All right, thank you so much. And on top of that, I want to say Merry Christmas to all of our citizens, and we're not going to have another meeting until after the new year, so I'll say Happy New Year to each and every one of you as well. And staff, please do not leave. We're going to take a photo up here, so this meeting is adjourned.